Okay, it is 6:36 right now. We're going over to Mike Eppel. And Mike, we're now talking about food pricing. It is already expensive to go out there and grocery shop, and now you're saying it's going up.
Yes, 2020, good morning, Melanie,
Good morning.
is going to be more expensive for the family budget when it comes to feeding the family. The food price forecast for 2020 from Dalhousie University and the University of Guelph is projecting a 4% increase in prices on average next year. That translates into close to $500 for an average family of four. So they're talking about rising beef prices and meat prices in general. And this is even after a year where we've seen, this whole shift to plant-based protein. Maybe not so much. Vegetable prices are getting more expensive. They're citing climate change. We've already seen a little bit of that show up this week with the potato price forecast because of bad weather affecting the potato crops in the U.S. and here in Canada. So, we're talking about just the cost of living in general. We just came off a federal election where, cost of living was a key talking point. And yet, things just keep on getting more expensive. Another thing in just this morning, the Toronto Real Estate Board saying that the home sales up for the 8th month in a row in the city for November, prices going up. So again, where's the tipping point, I suppose, for all of this when it comes to overall cost of living and things getting more expensive on a daily basis to feed the family. Now, another thing we're watching this morning, Melanie, quickly about the earnings that will affect the markets today on Bay Street. The Royal Bank's in with its quarterly earnings update. RBC made $3.1 billion in its fourth quarter, which was actually down a little bit from last year. Yesterday, it was the Bank of Montreal talking about cutting some jobs in the wake of streamlining and restructuring process that the bank's going through there. So we'll track that today. And as well, we have coming up this morning an interest rate announcement by the Bank of Canada, and that's going to be interesting. Consider that the bank has been one of the few, if not the only one in the G7 this year that hasn't made a move on interest rates. They've been the outlier. The economy here has been doing okay, and inflation, one of the key metrics, has been near target. So while the U.S. Central Bank has been cutting rates 3 times in the midst of the trade talks and all of that going on, the Bank of Canada has held steady, and it's going to be interesting to see what their guidance is for 2020. And Melanie, I should mention that the markets this morning, remember yesterday? How the talk was, the U.S.-China trade talks not going anywhere. Yeah. Donald Trump saying it's going to take another year. Mm-hmm. This morning, we're getting signals from the actual negotiations that they're making progress on the first phase agreement. So everything's subject to change. And this is so reminiscent of NAFTA.
Yes.
How that went on for the better part of a year and a half. Every other day, it was something different. Markets look much better in the early trade.
USMCA, changing every day. That should be the slogan.
Yeah, indeed.
There it is. Thanks, Mike. Enjoy your day.
Thank you, you too.